It's over.
I don't want
too late.
anyone to think that.
Is that
I
what
don't
you want to
either.
talk about
Yeah,
today?
I don't
No.
either.
Is that what you
Not at all.
Do you want to talk about Elon Musk today?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
This is your chance.
No.
Do you want to talk about Elon today?
No.
Like this is the triple checking.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
We're not doing the Tesla infomercial.
Oh no.
my God.
I don't think so.
Okay, did that check not clear?
Well, it depends what's in the envelope. I don't know if there's something in the
that's
envelope
fair.
that
Actually,
says
you don't know if
Tesla
there's
pricing
giant,
on
like,
there,
Monopoly money.
because that could easily just set us off for a complete failure if that's what's in there. But I don't know. Who knows? That's not it.
There it is.
Morning. Welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave.
I'm Adam.
What's up? How we doing?
Man, anytime I hear one of those sounds in the wild, the beep, 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 the horn, I just go, I'm Dave.
Do you really?
Yeah. I do
That's
it to be
hilarious.
funny, but
Dude, do people get it? Or do you do
No.
it around everybody?
no, just my wife. Yeah.
Every time I hear it, I get really excited. Not because I think of the show, but because I think that is the most hype noise in the whole wide
That's a
world.
pretty hype noise.
That's that just gets me fucking so stoked to hear an air horn. And again, it's not because of the show. The show helps, but I love the sound of a fucking air horn. I mean, the whole reason that we use it as the intro is the meme of how much it hyped us up, and
Yeah.
the DJ who just kept going
Yeah.
over and over and over again. It's fucking great.
Adam, what are your thoughts on the air horn?
Don't care.
Ambivalent.
Are you saying you don't care what his thoughts are? Or he doesn't care about the air
both.
horn?
I would probably go with he's uninterested.
Follow-up question. Do you have any sounds that get you hyped up?
Adam, do you get hyped up?
Yeah, no.
Adam, do you get hyped up? That's
No,
the
I-
bigger question.
I enjoy music,
Jesus,
but individual sound, not so much.
I enjoy music
that's crazy.
and short walks on the beach.
Short walks? Do you do short walks on the beach, or do you long walks?
long walks.
You do
Long
long
walks,
walks on the
okay.
beach. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's not like there's a beach nearby, but
No, there's not.
would you enjoy a long walk on the beach though?
If
yeah,
there
if I
were,
lived on the beach
would you do
or
it
near
more
a beach.
often?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's nice. That's good to hear. Okay.
How are you?
What's up?
How are you, Hagee?
Good. I don't know what happened today. I got like my ass kicked somehow in the middle of the day, and I got like really frustrated by a bunch of random little things, and I was just like really angry. I wanted to fucking hit something, and then it went away. It was fine.
That's good. It's good that it went away.
I'm still like kind of stressed, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, you don't want to bottle that down.
No, it doesn't help to actually hit things either.
No,
But,
no.
but hey,
I think I said this to you last week. Maybe whenever I get that frustrated that I want to hit things, I punch my own hand, and
Yeah.
then I feel like the biggest idiot.
yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe don't.
That would probably be the other like that's also not advised.
Yeah.
But
Or my leg. My
Or
own leg.
Dave's gonna come in one day and be like, I broke my hand.
I broke my hand.
Both my hands.
Like, how'd you break your hand? No, I broke my hand.
yeah.
I broke both hands.
Ian in the chat has a good one. He said, "Kickstart My Heart" by Motley Crue gets him ramped.
Yeah, I mean I think that's pretty good. I think
That's a
pretty
great
good.
one.
Makes sense.
I think that there are songs that get me hyped, but as a sound, like what's better than a fucking air horn
Yeah.
to get you fucking psyched, you know?
The that I got to know that song because my high school basketball team used to host this tournament where they would, obviously they would lose every year, but it took them 25 years to win one time, and we hosted the
Win
tournament.
the tournament or win a game in the
Win the
tournament?
tournament.
Okay.
The whole thing.
Okay.
And
that sounded worse at first. I thought
Yeah,
it
yeah,
meant
yeah.
just
Part
to
of-
win any game.
Yeah.
But no matter what game it was, they put up the sign of our school, which was the Bears, and it was a mean-looking bear on paper. They put
Great.
it up. They would blast "Kickstart My Heart," and then when it kicked into the song, they would bust through the paper, and everyone would go crazy.
Yeah.
One year, they busted through the paper, and everyone went crazy, and they ran to the other end of the court, and someone didn't clean up the wax.
Oh.
And like a cartoon, the entire basketball team fell and slid and hit the wall. and
Holy
then just
shit.
one after the other because they were running too fast to slow down.
That's great.
And it made it on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That
The
is that
TikTok
how
of the
people
90s.
Yeah. Wait, what did you say?
The TikTok of the 90s.
TikTok of the 90s, yeah.
I was gonna say, is that how people know your town?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and from the movie No Waterford Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
'Cause
but it was filmed
have you heard
not
of,
in
have you
that.
heard of that movie?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how people know.
Yeah, because everyone's heard of that. It's the movie that was about my town that wasn't filmed in my hometown.
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
filmed in the
That-
town over.
Okay.
That's a little upsetting.
I think that's
Yeah.
great.
I mean, that's, yeah.
I mean, I know that happens, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But that's, yeah.
Okay, so I do want to do one small piece of news today before we go into what we're here to do today, and that is do a little Tool shit talk.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Just generally, or did something happen?
something happened. I'm happy to always talk about Tool, but something did indeed happen.
something happened.
So
It's Maynard. He's had too much wine.
he's made too much wine. Yeah. So over the last weekend, Tool had an event called Tool Live in the Sand.
Okay.
It was a destination festival. It was in the Dominican Republic. Okay. So a day ticket for this cost about $329, but there are plenty of like sweet options. I don't know what the weekend deal was.
Was Tool the only band playing?
No, there are other bands.
Tool, Pussifer,
But-
A Perfect Circle.
So they wait. It sounds like you said something wrong there, but I know you did. But it's
Pussifer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all Maynard's
I
bands.
know. Yeah, but it's
Okay.
just so funny to hear like
Pussifer.
Yeah.
Was this like?
Heather!
Was this like
Get a Dave. Stop talking, please.
was this like a Firefest, but with Tool?
So it seems like.
But like actually happened.
Yeah, it seemed like the festival in general was like it did happen. Okay, Tool played both nights of the festival, so that'd be March 7th and March 8th. Tool played both nights and advertised the event as Tool playing 2 different sets on each night. Okay, they in fact did not. Now there's enough there are different songs, but they played 4 of the same songs on both nights.
That's 3/4 of their set.
Now, keep in mind, well, I guess I should ask, how many songs do you think they should play if they're the headliner 2 nights in a row? Or length? How long should they play?
At least 2 hours.
Adam?
Yeah, I would say 2.
Or right around 2 hours.
2, maybe for them, 2.5 hours.
Okay. So I believe
Like 5
night
songs.
night 1 they played 10 songs, and night 2 they played 9 songs, I believe. Okay.
Okay.
So of those 10 and 9, 4 of them were the same on both nights. That equaled to about an hour and a half long set. They started at 9:15 and they were done by 10:40-ish. Okay.
Wow.
So they on night 2 were literally getting booed by Tool fans who traveled to see this event. They're getting
I'd be pissed too.
They're
Yeah.
getting booed. People in their resorts are putting fucking fuck Maynard stuff all up in their resorts.
Oh.
And the reason that I bring this up is one, it's funny that this happened. But the real crazy thing is that there's a class action lawsuit against Tool for this.
No way.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. There should be.
Okay, so here's
Yeah.
Because if you're this would be like the We're Not Young Fest said
We're not young.
whatever.
no, yeah, it's when we were young, but
we're not young.
it
We're
should
not
be called
young.
the We're Not Young.
Yeah.
We're not young anymore festival.
Yeah, exactly.
If they had that festival and they were like, hey, there's going to be different like headliners or different like bands each day, and then
Yeah.
they just fucking didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like that's the type of thing they would have
So
done probably.
there's a lot of people that think that there's no lawsuit over this, but considering how much people could have spent to be there,
Yeah.
the lawsuit is ranging for people who paid in the $4,000 to $10,000 range to be at this event, because you could have paid. So like I said, the day ticket was $329.
Okay.
But like, let's say I'm gonna just do the highest and the lowest. If you wanted a Tool Army suite that's a king and 2 sofa beds,
Oh, God.
that could cost you $7,775.
Wow.
If you wanted to do like the lowest thing and you wanted like the deluxe suite with a king and a sofa bed, and I don't know what how the classification is, but this could cost you $2,492.
Imagine paying $7,000 to sleep on a sofa bed.
Imagine paying $7,000 to see Tool.
Well, that too.
Yeah, that's
Like,
very, very true.
As someone who travels quite a bit, I've never spent that much money on a single trip. And if somebody proposed doing that, I'd be like, I'm not going to do that.
No, it's
Like, especially for this.
That's a lot of
type
money.
thing.
So-
That's just a lot of money for a single trip.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it's not a week long thing. It's not a cruise. It's. I mean, those are weird too to me. The band
Yeah.
cruises. But that's at least a thing. And you're like, oh, that's a whole week.
Yeah.
Like, cool, I get it.
and hypothetically, if the band that you wanted to see there didn't play like the whole fucking thing you wanted to see, you're at least partying on a fucking cruise. This was in
right.
a fucking desert. You're in the fucking
In
desert.
the Dominican Republic.
You're in a desert, and Tool
You're not
didn't
even-
play
not
enough
even-
songs.
Not even on the beach.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so Tool's been around long enough, albeit they don't release as many albums as most bands do. But they have more than
they
enough
have more
material that
songs,
people
yeah.
know
Yeah.
to do that.
I think
sort of
their
thing.
albums have more than 9 or 10 songs.
But I mean, like, at least, man, it's so frustrating. But
and they advertised it.
they advertised it and they invited people to come see a weekend of shows with them headlining. They had to know that most people were going to see them both nights.
Yeah.
With the anticipation of 2 different sets. Why the fuck just not do 2 different sets?
Yeah.
That makes 0 sense to
Why
me.
play four of the same songs both fucking night? It makes 0 sense.
No, we got to stop saying 4 songs. It's like 40% of their set
Yeah,
list.
true,
Yeah,
true,
40%
true.
of
Yeah,
the set
yeah.
list was
That's
insane.
that's a
if
good
Foo Fighters
point.
played 4 of the same songs, none of us would care. It'd be like,
No.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. That's
What-
very
I
true.
mean, granted, they're also going to play for like 4 hours.
Can you
Yeah.
can you look up which songs they repeated?
Yeah.
Because
I
I mean, they
it.
have to be like their top of the.
I would hope they're at least the songs everybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know enough
In
Tool
case they were
discography.
only at one of them.
So I'm not going to be the perfect person for this. Fear Inoculum,
Okay.
Rosetta Stoned,
Okay.
Noima,
Okay.
and Jambi.
Okay.
Those are
weird.
those are the 4 that were the same both nights.
Forgot how dumb their song names.
I wonder if they changed the jam sections in those songs.
Well,
or-
and to be fair, I didn't see Saturdays like time, but I looked at Fridays on like setlist.fm or whatever, and that's where I saw they started at 9:15 and went till 10:40, and it's like, dog, that's just like not enough.
Yeah, that's
just not.
it's
Maybe I
not-
have it backwards, but yeah, you get the point.
it's so easy for them to play different sets, and I'll bet you people are saying "fuck Maynard" because that sounds like some Maynard ass shit to do.
But it's like yeah, exactly. It's just so weird to advertise this festival as, hey, guess what? We're gonna play 2 different sets both nights. You're gonna pay at minimum $329. Hypothetically, you're close enough to this desert that you could just pay for a day. So that person got the best deal, but everybody else
Yeah, they
got
know
screwed.
everybody
And
travels.
I didn't see what the weekend price was. Like that didn't pop up for me. But
It's probably really expensive.
This
Yeah.
whole trend of bands and like music touring companies and production companies like taking advantage of people is really fucked up.
it's so annoying. But yeah.
But
Anyway,
like, it's just more proof that like bands are just corporations.
yeah, and
So,
it-
like, that sucks, but you can't have like a parasocial relationship with a giant band. At this
exactly. So the other interesting part of that being that this happened over the weekend, and the class action lawsuit is already up.
Wow, that's
And
fast.
so it's like the ad for it is, did you pay $4,000 to $10,000 for Tool in the Sand? And then it lists the promises that were broken. Oh, the second performance ended early. Didn't even know that.
Oh my god. Hopefully, because the crowd was booing.
Who qualifies? If you attended the Tool in the Sand Festival, if you purchased tickets / packages based on the promises of 2 unique performances, if you experienced a substantially repeated set list on the second night.
Oh my god. I mean, at most they're gonna get refunded.
No,
Yeah.
at class action lawsuit, at most they're gonna get like a couple $100.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's interesting that Ian said that Mastodon and Eagles of Death Metal were the.
There were some other bands. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a band called King's X that also played.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a festival of sorts. Like they actually had a full festival.
Oh.
So like if you were fans of other bands that played there, then cool,
That's cool,
that works
yeah.
out for you. But if you happen to not be, if like you were there for Tool, which it's advertised as a Tool festival, then what the fuck?
I mean, if you're listening though, and you didn't go see Tool, but you can just say that you did for the class action lawsuit. Good for you.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
the lead singer of Mastodon quit the band like not too long ago.
And that is the perfect segue into what we're here to talk about
Oh
today.
yeah. I was like, I thought you were about to talk about Mastodon, and I just fucked up.
No, I only want to talk about Tool today. There's other news that happened that I feel like is like fun to talk about, but I feel like we're going to
can
talk
wait.
about this.
Yeah.
So that's a perfect segue into what we're here to talk about today, which is we have on this show many times discussed our tour or live show experiences, and through that have also discussed things not to do at live shows, or as we have coined them, Shaux Pas.
Shaux Pas.
And I've gone through much of how to spell Shaux Pas. I landed on this, and I think it works.
You spelled it. That's the right way to spell it, I would say.
When I was printing this, I was like, I don't know if I gotta double check if he spelled this the same consistently everywhere because I'm
think
like,
I
I
did.
don't know.
I think I did. Even,
think you
even,
did, though.
even
Yeah.
on one of the squares, when it
that
said
was-
show, I put like show
That
like
was
that.
why
Yeah.
I reloaded that bingo page a lot to double check.
I mean, we got to be careful with these things. 'Cause for the longest time, I didn't know our name was pluralized.
This is true. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. So because we have talked about this so much, I did this a while ago and I just didn't do anything with it. Made a bingo card for Shaux Pas. When you go to a show, if you play a show any which way, you can play bingo. So one of the fun things, and I'll for anyone who's in like the YouTube chat right now, I'll put it down in there. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I'll put it in the chat so everybody can take a look at it and play if they want to. We're not necessarily. I mean, we're kind of going to play today, but more than anything, we're going to talk about, all the squares on there. And if anybody has any other suggestions they want to add or anything they disagree with as far as like something that shouldn't be on there, that's what we're going to go through today. So
Awesome.
you have, can we open these, Adam?
Yeah. So
Adam
I printed ones. They're sealed
is
envelopes, so I don't know who's is whose.
Amazing.
And
Top
what's what.
secret.
This is incredible.
This is really cool.
Just take for everyone who's watching, take a look at this envelope. This is legit. Hello, Christian and TikTok. How are we doing? Thank you for liking it. I appreciate it. Welcome.
I feel like I'm on Survivor right now or something.
Oh, because we're opening these?
Yeah.
So the whole thing
Sure,
with
that's
this,
great for the audio listeners.
the whole
Just
thing
do
with
it
this
right
is that when you're at a live show, everybody's on their phone no matter fucking what anyway, right? So why don't you pull out your phone and play bingo for some
Yeah.
bullshit that you see?
You can do it
I'm
in between songs if
ripping
you want
the
to
fuck
be
out of this, dude.
respectful. That's fine. I knew how to open mine without it ripping, but
Oh, I knew how to open an envelope.
Bragging right
that's
now?
because I did it.
So we have our own personal bingo cards right here, but we're gonna go through this. I'll put it on the screen so
It's
everyone
supposed to be orange.
can also see.
It's red.
Adam.
We also have.
Oh my
bingo
God, Andy
markers.
brought markers.
my goodness.
Bingo markers, dude. I used to go play bingo with my mother all the time as a kid.
Well, I hope that you
That's
win.
not where I
now.
expected that to go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through some of these. You can see it
Why,
on
why
the
is it
screen.
supposed to be orange, Dave?
I think
Because it's orange on the website.
It's red.
it's more red because our colors tend to be like white, red, and black.
Yeah.
Am I colorblind?
Potentially.
That one is more orangey. I will
Okay.
give you that.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for all the likes. We appreciate it on TikTok. I'll put this in the. I don't know if you can open this on TikTok. I don't know how links work. But
We'll figure it out.
Let's get those markers. Look at those dabbers.
So and you can also go to our link on our stuff on Instagram. It's there too. Okay, so I figured that we can do this a couple different ways.
I pick green.
I guess I'll pick orange.
Shake 'em, boys.
So playing this is interesting. I guess what we can do right now without a show is we can just go through it, and we can see if anyone's ever experienced this, and then
Yeah. We can just talk through
yeah,
whatever we have on our sheets. I mean, they're different, right?
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know how many are in the bingo sheet.
It's all of these. It's all of these. So it's just like it won't let me like add more to like
okay.
if I add more, I have to add more squares. So I'm happy to add more if people have suggestions of what should go in.
We can make
It's
multiple
gonna be
versions.
massive.
Sure, that's great.
We'll have this version. We'll have the
Yeah.
listener version.
Exactly. So I guess I'll start on the top left of mine. I have talking during a ballad. Okay. So
Dallas audiences.
Oh, we all have different
we
ones.
all have different
We all
ones.
have different
We
ones.
all have different ones.
Let's see who wins.
Yeah.
Shit.
Which if you click the bingo link
And if
on
yours
your own,
is really awful, this has extra copies. So you can give up and get an extra one.
if you click the bingo link, then it'll generate a new one
Yeah,
for
you
you
get
every
your own
time.
that's unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh
every
my
single time it'll
goodness.
generate a new one for you, which is
You can
pretty
keep
cool.
it fun every show you go to.
Yeah, exactly. So talking during a ballad, every show in Dallas, that's a good point. So this goes for both ways, but generally this is like an audience one. Can you guys think of a time aside from just every show in Dallas that someone was talking during a ballad that you were around?
No, not off the top of my head.
I'm trying to think. I feel like this has happened like every time I've seen Theo. Every time I've seen Theo Katzman and he's been playing any sort of soft song, especially recently sitting at the piano, and someone fucking starts opening their mouth. I'm like, please
Shut up.
the fuck up. But I can't think of exactly what song it was, so it's hard for me to mark that one down.
I
But
don't remember what show it was, but I was at a show where the sound guy started talking pretty loudly during a ballad.
Oh God.
Like they were trying to figure something out.
That's
and like
so
I get
funny.
that. He was like on a headset, but I'm like, you're talking way louder than you need to, man.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
that is incredible.
And you're like in the middle of, the pit and everybody can hear you.
I love that.
This story wasn't necessarily a ballad, and I think I've told it on the show before, but I shushed audience members once.
Oh, that's
playing
great.
a jazz gig, and it was like this festival in my hometown, and I was playing some jazz on a 5-string upright. And
What?
Yeah, it was weird, dude. It was screwing me up. but I also had a couple of beers, and
Are you sure it had 5 strings, or would you have too many beers?
I'm positive it had 5 strings. But while I was playing, they were talking, and I was soloing, and I stopped and went, shh. And then they looked at me like really pissed off. And then, no joke, I played the rest of the solo. It was the worst solo I've ever played in my life. So I shushed them and then tanked a solo.
Should we also change this to like talking during a ballad or a bass solo?
Yes. No, we could make the bass solo a different one. But
Okay.
also, if people don't, we should more put it like not talking during a bass solo.
Sure, yeah.
Because that happens all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so if it is
If
silent,
If a
quiet,
whole
then you
audience is quiet during a bass solo, then you
then
get
that's
to.
a big no-no.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, it's a no because it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay,
Unexpected.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can't think of exactly what song it was, so I'm not going to mark mine off. Dave, let's read off one off yours.
Band, I'll do top left as well. Band is too self-depreciating. Or deprecating.
Deprecating. Both
Jesus.
are both.
Self-depreciation.
Yeah, self-deprecating.
Both?
Every band is depreciating.
Now, this one came from a place of like sometimes it's funny when like a front man is like a little sad boy, right? But like it also it gets really tough when like you have like a band, like a front man or a band that's just like, ugh, we suck. This next song, yeah, it sucks. Like, fuck off. God, that's so that kills me. And this happens on the local level and on like the medium tour level.
Yeah.
I can think of 2 instances in particular. One, I was at a show where this band, literally every other song was just like, yeah, well, this next song, it's gonna sound like this. We kind of suck. So this is, yeah.
That's so bad.
You were at that show. I can't say what it was. I'm not going to say what it was.
There was some band that was on tour that was talking about like, why is anybody here
Oh,
at a show like
yep,
locally somewhere?
I also have been a
Which
part
was
of
like,
that too.
What do you mean? Why are we here? We're all here because you are on tour. I think.
I'm marking that one off.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that one.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
I gotta find it on mine. Actually.
Oh, so we all have the same ones. They're just a different
they're
order.
just different order. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Cool.
All right,
There's
Adam.
a lot of band did something bad or dumb. So
Yeah, and I
There we go,
thought
I
about
found it.
rewording some of this, but I was like, it's hard to fit it all
fine
in.
the way
yeah.
you did it.
All right, give us another one, Adam.
let's just go top left all the way down.
Okay.
Right? Band is late, sound check or downbeat.
Oh, dude.
Okay, so
We've all
just,
seen this.
just to clarify what I mean exactly by this, I mean that either you're an audience member or you're playing the show, right? So you're on a local bill. If you're an audience member and the band is supposed to start at 9, if they start at 9:05, I don't give a shit, right? Do we care about that? Do we care about that so much?
No.
Depends on what it is.
But if the band is supposed to start at 9 and then they start at fucking 10, that's starting late.
That's so late.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as like the local, like if you're on a bill with other bands and if a band is supposed to like, a band is late to either loading in or sound check or downbeat, it throws the whole thing off. So,
And somehow it's usually like the first band.
well,
Maybe the second band.
it's usually a band that didn't communicate well enough that they were going to be late, or they communicated well enough and somebody just didn't communicate that to somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
That happens all the time, and it sucks that I'm gonna blame that person, but like I've been the guy that's late to all this because I'm like, hey, I can't get there until this time because of work. Because I found out that sound check was at 6 and I get off work at 5 in Denton. I'm
Right.
not going to get to Dallas at 6.
Of course.
So I've definitely been that guy.
Yeah. I've had it where like a band that was. I've been in a band that was playing
got it.
a headlining spot. I'm trying to figure out how to talk about this without
Oh, sure. Yeah.
outing anybody. I was playing in a band once that had a residency in Canada, let's say, and the opening band took way too long to set up, and we had to cut our set short.
Yes.
And it's like the most disrespectful fucking thing I've
Yeah.
ever experienced.
So I think that's a pretty big one. Is like if you're
You're so
an
late.
opener,
Yeah.
you're so late because your setup is too long. Let's practice setting up faster, guys.
Yeah.
Or if you're the opener, show up earlier.
Well, and if
Show
you
up
can't
earlier.
communicate
If you can.
that,
If you can.
Or you can't, yeah. Or do some pre-setup.
or play now you play a shorter set.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, next I've got band member or audience member puts a drink in a bad spot. Now I can't think of a time for this,
Really?
but well, I'm sure I could.
House
But I can't
shows?
think of. Well, but
Put
house
a
shows
drink
are.
on top of the amp. Here, like here's one on the mixer.
But that's the wild west of shows is house shows. People just do shit that's
That's
crazy.
fair,
I don't
that's
even know if I want like you could count that, but I'm thinking more of like examples you said, but like in and for the example of Dave, I might take yours, but like someone putting a drink on top of your amp with that, like when you're like, I don't do this.
Very much, and I tell every bass player that I come into contact with, whether it's on the road or locally, where I go, you more than welcome. Use my amp, change all the settings, do whatever you want. Please don't put a drink on my amp.
And then they do.
And then no one has yet, but
No, someone has. I think
Someone has, yeah.
but
You
then,
played enough shows. Somebody has.
yeah.
But then the other side of that is like an audience member, like Adam said, putting a drink on top of an amp or on top of a speaker or any kind of thing like that. The one that kills me, this is the one that kills me, is when you're at like a bigger show, say like you're at like a kind of like mid to large size show, and you're like maybe in the pit, and people put their drink on the floor. Like you're so fucking stupid.
That's the
you're
dumbest
gonna
thing
kick
ever.
that. I'm gonna kick that, and it happens all the fucking time.
Or
I'm not
someone's
even
going to
talking,
get roofied.
Yes, I'm not even talking about metal shows. I'm just talking about shows
Shows
and
in
people
general.
who are just
Who
exactly.
expects that to be on the ground?
Yeah, exactly. Why is that there? I'll check that one off.
I'm taking that one for house shows.
Okay, sure. That's
That
yeah,
happened
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot at my house.
I mean, I played a wedding gig once where the whole wedding party thought that the stage was like a place to put drinks.
Oh,
And all the
That probably happens a lot at weddings.
not as much. No, not really.
Huh.
Surprisingly, but
I just expect so little from weddings.
dude. But here's the thing: is that this same gig I'm thinking of, eventually they all started shaking up their beer bottles and spraying them all over the place.
Wow.
And amazingly, none of the people at the front of the stage, like, I'm talking a keyboard player, a guitar player with a really nice pedal board, microphones, speakers, and none of them moved their stuff at all. And I was at the back of the stage with my pedal case, like in front of my pedal board.
I think you told me about this.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Shielding it.
yeah, shielding it. And then I was saying to the I'm so dramatic in these scenarios because like I don't have any faith that if my gear gets ruined, anyone's going to do anything
You're
about
not
it.
paying. You're not getting paid enough to have that. Like,
And
exactly.
So I said to the band leader, hey, well, like if any of my if I'm feeling unsafe about my gear when we're on stage in scenarios like this, I'm getting off stage.
Yeah, 100%.
And he was like, by all means, go for it. I'm like, why aren't you guys moving your stuff? He's like, it's all insured.
Yeah. Ian said
That
I
can
definitely
be the case, but that's still a pain in the ass to deal with.
100%. Ian said I definitely use my amp as a table when I'm home, and that makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. That's when you would want to. Yes, of course, perfect.
Yeah.
But if you're at a live show, no.
Yeah.
That's an amp, not a table.
It's like I paid a lot of money for my gear that I don't like buying.
Yeah.
I don't want to rebuy it, and
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it. I want to take care of it.
Yep. All right, give us the next one, Dave.
Audience member, sorry, band starts song over.
Ooh.
We've done that.
See, now this is particular.
Depends
okay?
on why you start over.
Yeah.
We've done that. I still think it's a problem.
Absolutely.
I would say there are the small percentages where like that isn't the biggest deal in the world, but I would say 9 times out of 10, if a band starts the song over, why the fuck are we starting the song over? There better be a really good fucking
good reason.
yeah,
Really good
really
reason.
good fucking
Like
reason.
this better be a live show you're recording,
Yup.
Yeah, exactly.
Or there's like
or there was no audio.
there's no return from this.
if you've gotten to the chorus, there's no starting over.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you just stop.
You can
and move
blow an
on.
intro and go, let me try that again. And in fact, this is the only time that I'll say that's being self-deprecating is okay. If you blow an intro and it's solo and you're by yourself, like if it's a drum intro or a guitar intro or a bass intro, and you blow it and you have a microphone in front of you, you can be silly and redeem that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because then it shows that you're showing some humility, not negativity or not self-deprecation, and it's charming. It can be charming.
That's very, very true. But I will say most of the time, that is a no-no. Don't start your songs over.
Stop the song and move on.
Yep.
Do not start it over.
I had one instance where that happened. I think I've told the story before, and the person might listen to this at some point, but they know. They started the song over, and we got off stage, and I went, "Don't ever fucking do that again."
Hey, come over here.
I pulled the band over. I was like, "That's never happening
That's
again."
never going to happen again.
Yeah. Adam, what's the next one?
Band throwing a fit on stage.
That's my next one too. That's crazy.
In the middle. Oh, I missed my next one then. Oh, well, whatever. We'll just go on. We're not going to start over.
Band, yeah, we can't start over.
Yeah.
That's a Shaux Pas. We can't start over. Band throwing a fit on stage is an interesting one. I can think of a time when I was a kid and I was at this, metal shows, especially back in the day, but still are sometimes like four, not four, like 6 or 7 bands on the bill, right?
Absolutely.
So I was at the show to see, I think, Lamb of God. There were a couple other bands I wanted to see, but particularly Lamb of God was the headliner, and I believe the Acacia, whatever, they were on stage, and someone threw like a penny on stage. They threw the biggest fucking fit in the world. They threw all their drinks off stage and they stormed off. And I'm like,
a penny?
I don't know. I'm sure that is dangerous, but dog, you're in a metal band. I don't know what the fuck to tell you here. And then the other side of that is we literally just talked about someone throwing a fit on stage recently, which is the Kid Rock situation, where Kid Rock wasn't happy, people were clapping, and just storms off the stage. So I think there's plenty of instances where this can work, but generally speaking, this is kind of talking about from the audience perspective, and you're watching a band that is especially supposed to be like this high profile like artist, and they get real pissed.
You paid to be there to see them. I can think of when I saw Jack White, and he seemed to end the set early because he made some comment about guns. It was Texas. The crowd did not react the way he wanted them to, I guess, and he ended the set. They'd only played for like 25 minutes.
He ended after 25 minutes.
And then they took a very long break. I'm sure someone talked to him.
Was like, "Hey man, you're contractually obligated."
Well, not even that. I would assume.
Shit together.
It might have just been like it's Texas, dude. Like lots of people in the audience probably agree with you, but they were, overblown by the shitty Dallas crowd. Or reminded him that he owns a bat company here and he likes Dallas. I don't know.
Okay,
but something happened, and then they came back out and they played like another 45 minutes as their like encore. But it's like he had a fit and he was going to quit and like leave.
Dang, that's wild. Kyle said in the chat, saw a band that got mad the lighting guy was changing lights too much, called him out mid-set and everything.
I remember that story. Kyle.
That's crazy. I also think about when we saw Royal Blood, whenever they didn't throw a fit, but they were like talking shit about how much they have to pay their keyboard player.
By they, you mean the lead singer.
The lead singer, yeah.
He was complaining about paying his keyboard player.
Yeah.
I would say that's a fit.
And then complained about the audience and just said, "Hey, let's all be on Instagram together."
Yeah, that was crazy.
Dude, that ruined that band for me. I'm not even joking.
I know. That's just.
I don't have an interest in seeing them live based on that.
No.
So
I haven't listened to their newest record.
I did. It was underwhelming compared to the
first one.
The second one. That was
or whatever.
Yeah, that was the second one. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, anyway. So there's plenty of those instances of bands throwing fits on stage. Ian said Alice in Chains false starts Sludge Factory on their MTV Unplugged, and it was fucking awesome. See, there you go. I mean,
you can totally do it.
It can work. I'm just saying that like if you're especially, and maybe I'm just thinking about this from the perspective of like local to mid bands, mid-size. If you're in the midst of a song, and like Dave said, if you're at the chorus, GG's, it's over.
Yeah, it's too late.
The song has been going.
You waited too long.
Yeah.
If you start over again, people are going to be like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
Okay, this one might be a little sensitive. We'll see. But I feel pretty passionately about this. If you're wearing your own band's merch on stage, if you're there to see a band, if I was going to see Between the Buried and Me, and Between the Buried and Me was wearing Between the Buried and Me shirts on stage, it better be a fucking bit or that's fucking cringe as hell.
Okay, so I only know that this one is a Shaux Pas from people telling me that that's a bad thing to do, and I don't see anything wrong with it. Am I going to do it? No, because I don't want people to go, "Look at Dave, what an idiot, wearing his own band shirt." I've worn other bands that I'm in merch to a different gig.
Sure.
Is that bad?
I think that's a little weird, but I
Yeah. This, in my defense, this was years ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a little weird because it's so okay. So the argument you might make for wearing your own band's merch on stage is that you're advertising.
Yes.
But like,
you don't need to do that.
You're already doing it. You're on stage doing the thing. You don't have to do that, right? You could say your band's name. You might even have a bass drum head.
Sure.
You might even have anything that could, say your.
So that's where you draw the line. The bass drum head.
The bass drum head's fine. That's great.
Yeah.
That's
a universal.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's universally okay.
Yeah. If you're wearing another band shirt that you're in while you're playing, I mean
that's potentially confusing.
Potentially confusing, but also like now it feels like you're trying to advertise the other band.
I was.
Wow.
It was a local band merch, local band merch,
Yeah.
at a cover band gig.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Oh, at a cover band gig, I don't think it matters.
So that's my
Yeah,
further
we're-
justification.
We're not. We're,
Nobody in the audience at a cover band gig is going to care that you're wearing a band shirt.
No.
And
not
again,
at all.
like if you're trying to advertise the way your shirt looks, you have a merch table. You have other options as to how to advertise that. So I don't really, and it's like you're not at work. You're not at your retail store where you need to wear your retail shirt that shows that you work at that establishment.
People believe that you're in the band.
Exactly. Yeah. So
They're not going like walking around like, "Hey, are you in the band?"
if they made,
I mean, actually, some people probably do that afterwards.
Dude,
but-
I've had so many people as a bass player go like talking to other people in the band that I just played with and introducing themselves to me and going, "Aren't they great?"
yeah,
And I'm
That's
like,
when you just got to be like, yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
yeah,
Never
yeah.
seen them until today.
I had a guy I went to a restaurant once where a guy was wearing a shirt from a band that I'm in, and I was on the shirt, and I was like, "Hey, that
It's like
band."
your silhouette, right?
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, it's that band," and he goes, "Yeah, they're great, man. I've seen them so many times." And I was like, "Cool. Can I have 3 tacos?" I just let it go.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that one could be potentially controversial.
So you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen. I can't think of a specific time because it's been a while since I've seen it, but I have seen it. I'm not gonna mark it off because I can't remember the last time.
I can't
saw it,
think of
but
anyone actually doing it.
I've definitely seen it happen.
I know I've seen people
But-
do it, but I don't have an example. And
Yeah.
I know that there are definitely like local bands, smaller bands especially, are like, yeah, I should do that for those reasons of advertising or merch or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like, no.
I know exactly who I've seen do it. Exactly who.
Well, and like I think that
So I'm marking that one off.
There's something to be said about a band that looks like a band. That what I mean is like they all kind of dress not the same, but like they all look like they're dressed like together.
Yeah, you should have, as someone who doesn't have like a work uniform, you should have a uniform of sorts.
Sure. Well, it's like
Where it's like it doesn't
Dress
have to be specific.
similarly.
It doesn't even have to be the same. Even it just has to be like maybe your thing is you just wear plain colored T-shirts.
Exactly.
They can all be whatever fucking color you want to. It doesn't matter. But that's like the thing.
Yeah,
That
Dave and I
seems
have,
easier than like being like, well, what are we gonna wear for this gig?
Yeah.
We've had gigs where it's like, hey, let's look a certain way. What do we want to decide? Hey, how about we wear these kind of colors, and then we all wear those kind of colors, and then it looks cool on stage, right?
Yeah.
But like, it just kind of depends.
In our band moniker, we also had that one time where I said, "Let's wear blue jeans and a black shirt for a video that we were filming," and then I wore black jeans and a green shirt for said video, and was confused why they were synced up
It
with
was
the
funny.
clothing.
That's pretty cool.
So you forgot that you mentioned it.
Yeah, I forgot that I mentioned
They're
it.
not going to know he's in the band now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Dave, what's next on yours?
I've got audience member talking to band. I'm gonna put like 40 dabs on this one.
Okay. So audience member talking to the band is a pretty
During
interesting
the
one.
set?
Yeah.
during a song,
I mean, like, so this could be on like the big stage or the small stage, right? But consider this can work sometimes. Again, there's always exceptions. Like it can be funny if like you're in the crowd and some person is like, hey, I love you. They're like, I love you too. And then like you get a little back and forth like that. But I mean, like someone who actually walks up and is like, let's have a conversation,
Dude.
Yeah.
which I'm sure the cover band world is a
All
very
the time.
big reality, right?
The one story I have is a friend of mine that I used to play a lot of country club gigs with, Barry. He plays the most beautiful cover of Landslide that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing of our show, and 90% of the time when we play it, I just sit out because I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy this. And he was playing it. I was sitting next to him. I mostly had my eyes closed. He was doing his thing. And then I hear some old shrill voice come up and go, "Can you guys play something we can dance to?" In the middle of the arrangement. Like I'm fighting back emotions. I'm remembering sad things that have happened to me in my life. And I get just so frustrated immediately at this person. And I was like, "Can we talk after let's just wait till the song's over." And she was like, "Well, I'm with my friends here, and we just really are having a good time, and this is a pretty slow song." Like she wanted us to stop the song.
Oh my
like
God.
we were a CD player.
You're a
That's
jukebox.
crazy.
It was insane. Yeah. That's why I put 40 dabs on
Yeah,
mine.
that's perfect. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Adam, have you ever experienced anyone talking to the band?
I've been at shows that y'all have been playing where the audience has tried to talk to y'all, and somebody, maybe named Jackson, has to try to like politely get them to not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's usually a lot of like they'll say something after one song, and you're like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing it again. Oh, okay. we're like the fifth, sixth song, and it's like you've said something and tried to talk every single time.
Yeah.
It's not okay now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're now the annoying person trying to be a fourth member of the band.
Mm-hmm.
I've had microphone privileges taken away from me for yelling at people in the audience that wouldn't stop yelling, "Play Freebird," and they thought it was hilarious. And I just said, like, "Listen, man," into the microphone. I was like, "We're not fucking playing Freebird, so also get some new jokes. Like, you're so fucking annoying." And then
More cowbell.
yeah, and then at the end of the gig, the band leader was like, "You can't do that." We were all thinking it. You can't do that.
You
can't do
You're
that.
not getting a microphone
God,
anymore.
that's so
And I was
funny.
like, okay.
That's a good reason to lose it.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think Lupe's in the chat. I think he was there.
All right, Adam, what's our next one?
Band apologizes to the audience.
Okay.
Oh,
So
God.
I mean this in a very specific setting as well, although this can, again, there's exceptions. I'll give you the exceptions. The exceptions are something goes horribly wrong and you feel terrible about like the power went out, or, you know, so many different things could like that they're out of the band's control. Are you're apologizing for that, or
Okay.
you know what, you know, those kinds of things. The things that I'm referring to would be like sorry, that didn't go so well. Like, sorry, we played that and it sounded like that. Don't fucking
Well,
apologize. Shut the fuck up.
Not in a self-deprecating like I want to pretend I'm a comedian way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean like you're apologizing for your
It's like
for
so-
your band,
yeah.
more or less.
Right.
Like,
You're-
sorry about Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
He got frustrated and yelled at you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The
We will play Freebird.
like the thing that gets me with that is like if you're going to like have a problem with like if you're gonna have an issue you want to apologize for, find a way to do it that's not gonna like drag attention to a negative side of the show. Don't bring, because a lot of times audience have no idea that something bad has happened.
Exactly.
They have no idea, and so as soon as you go, dude, I'm so guys, thanks for bearing with us. I'm so sorry about that. You know, it's a new song. Shut the fuck up. Shut
Yeah.
up. Which I think I have that one on here somewhere. But yeah, exactly. Those are things to not apologize
Exactly.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're marking that one.
I'm marking that one for sure. I think I saw that.
Am I not supposed to be
very
marking the
recently.
ones that you guys are marking?
No.
No, you can do whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
If
you've
seen it.
if you can think of
I don't have a specific example of that one, so I'm not going to mark that one.
yeah,
I know it's like happened for sure. But
yeah. Dave, what's next on yours?
I've got drummer tearing down on stage.
Now, this is going to also be a little specific, because if you're at like a mid-sized show, and you're in the audience and you're watching like a bunch of tech dudes taking a drum kit off a stage, if they're actually tearing down the pieces, that probably is really important and intentional. They're doing it that way. I think they shouldn't do that, but I'm not going to count that. I'm always going to count if I see a drummer, the set's done, and a drummer goes, all right, unscrew every single cymbal, put it in my bag, do the next one, all right, and then I take the snare off, I put it in its in bag, and then I got my other bags for my hardware, and then I'm gonna help.
Let me run out to my car real quick.
And then,
if it's taking longer than everybody else to get off stage, you're too long now.
and then if someone walks up and starts talking to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, man, thanks for checking out the set, and I'm slowly putting my stands away in my case. No, fuck you.
Unless you're the last one of the night.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
And then it's maybe stop doing this right now and go hang out for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, for people doing this in between like sets, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Hagen-
we've all seen that.
Hagen holds the record for getting Lupe. That doesn't get. Lupe said in the chat, I was tearing down his cymbals during a set. So if a gig would go on for too long, eventually I would just look over at Lupe and start unscrewing his cymbals and put them between my legs and just like hold on to it till the end of the song and like set it down. And then like a couple of times people would take off his toms and just start tearing down
that's
his
actually an
drums.
exercise,
That's a
Lupe.
good
You should
bit.
help them.
Yeah.
You should thank them. That's so funny.
But I was saying Hagen holds the record for the quickest I've ever seen a drummer get off stage, and also the longest I've ever seen a drummer leave their drums on stage.
Yeah.
And the quickest he's ever gotten off is every time he's not the headliner.
Oh, yeah.
And the the longest I've seen him leave it is every time he is the headliner.
Oh yeah,
And then it's
that's
like
right.
2:30.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
And
right.
the bartenders
Taking
are
my-
like, you need to leave.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the bartenders, the sound.
Granted, they know you, and they're like, you do need to leave though.
Yeah, the times they don't know me, I usually go up and go, I just give me a little bit, and I'll get it taken care of. And then eventually, when I don't know them, I will do it before that. But there are times where the bartenders and the sound guys are like, get off my stage, get off my stage.
We want to go home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now some of them are like, you actually have to be off the stage by 1 a.m. so that way they can go home.
Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That works. Now I'll get off your stage. But if I'm not the headliner, I'm fucking off your stage. I'm holding as much as I'm like taking my whole drum setup in my arms, like walking off the stage, you know? So yeah, that's a big no-no for me. We don't do that. Was that yours, Dave?
Yes.
Adam, what you got?
Yelling out wrong band name or band member names.
Yeah, I think this one was a suggestion from somebody. I think that's still pretty funny. I can't think of a time that I've ever seen this.
My last name is Farrell. I've had so many people announce me as Pharrell.
Oh, see, okay. So I'm thinking
I don't think that's too bad.
I have it from
unless you're providing like pronunciation like to whoever's announcing.
Right, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking from the audience perspective, where the audience yells like they're cheering for the band that's not actually on, or they're cheering for
like the
a
band
band
who was on before.
Yeah, exactly. Or they cheer for like, yeah, we love so like if Animals Leaders was on the bill but Pliny was playing, they say, yeah, Tosin, like that. Like that's what I'm thinking of, right?
Yeah.
But that's a good one too. I didn't even think of it from the perspective of.
Oh, you've had it happen to you too.
Yeah, you can't fucking say my name at all. My name's awful. Yeah, for sure. And if
Fucking
that's the
John Jacob Ingleheimer Schmidt over here on the drums.
if that's the case, I'm fucking that's mine right there. Okay, Adam, what's the next one for you? Oh no, did you do that one?
did that.
I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention. Spitting on stage is my next one.
I've seen Josh Homme do it.
Now.
And
He's also
Mikey
kicked somebody in the face. So
Shoe, whatever,
Yeah,
the bass player.
Is that so? Sometimes I don't really care that much, but sometimes it's pretty fucking gross.
I think
it's in general
it's a
though.
dick move.
Yeah, I think it's general though. Why are you doing that?
Don't spit on stage, but also it's so gross if you spit and it hangs at all. Then it's just like you probably shouldn't be on
that's a
stage
risky
anyway.
move.
Yeah.
I think that's such a weird. There are times where like I feel like I have to spit, but like I've never had that happen on stage before,
No,
where
me
I
neither.
feel like I've had to spit.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
if you're outside, it's very different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then
Absolutely.
if you're playing like a festival stage, it's different for like
everyone's gross. Everyone's spitting on each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
I still
But
don't think
if
I'm gonna
if it's
spit on
a little
stage.
like indoor like amphitheater type thing.
Sure.
You're on the line.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta run to the bathroom. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh my goodness. Running to the bathroom
Yeah. Is that on here?
during a
Put it on.
podcast.
You
You
Put it
just
on there,
stop
put
the
it on
set
there.
halfway and be
Goodness.
like,
Okay, we're gonna do one without you.
Count me out.
we're gonna do. Here,
I don't
you
get
want
a
me
point
to
for
go?
this
Here, you
one.
pick one.
We'll do a front person rude to the audience.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this several times.
Yeah, a lot.
It happens
Usually,
more and more now, like than I've ever seen.
I feel like usually for big bands, it's always pay attention to us.
Yeah.
Where,
Yes.
you know, the phone aspect or anything like that, which we've talked about on the show, which is like, you can have the things, the little pouches that your phone goes in. You chose not to do that, so this is on you, man. Like,
Yeah, not only that, that's just part of the landscape now is having phones. So yeah, that's definitely one of them. But I've seen videos of people like the Kid Rock video where he's like,
Yeah.
fuck you guys, I'm getting off stage. I've seen
That's
lots of
happening more and
videos
more.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is happening more and more. But I think
the lead poisoning.
yes. They're sniffing bingo dabbers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. These came from China probably, so like, who knows how safe they are.
I think that it's not okay to yell at your audience. I think especially if you're mad that your audience isn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And I've said this before on the show, I think that you need to then fight that by playing a more entertaining show from there on out and try to get their attention.
Yeah, if people have lost attention, it means that you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. And complaining about the audience is not going to win. You're never going to win when you complain about the audience.
No, unless it's a bit, and then
Yeah.
it's fine. But,
We're still talking about that same one if you got anything.
No, I lost my point for that.
Well,
I mean, you can talk about it. You just don't get to mark it.
You said it's front person being rude
Yeah.
to the audience.
Yeah.
yes.
I think I talked about this recently with, unfortunately, my album of the year with Origami Angel. I mean, and sometimes I'm not sure if I read that situation correctly. Man, I fucking love them live. They were amazing. The album is so good, but as soon as they started playing like the new songs and the crowd didn't like get super into it, and they were like, well, I don't know if you guys have the internet, but we have a new album that came out. I'm like, please stop. Like, can we not? And I guess that could go under like throwing a fit as well. But it definitely feels like more like directed at like being rude to the audience for not
reacting
exactly
the way you want them to.
Yeah,
I mean, I've had talks with people I've been in bands with where I've been like, hey, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't call the audience out.
Yeah.
Just ignore it, whatever's happening.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and to your point, you're not going to win an audience who doesn't
Ever.
care.
Yeah. You're never going to win.
You've already
Yeah.
lost them. It's fine. Just go on, finish the gig, and go home.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Lupe said in the chat, people are smarter than us, which means like as a band member, the audience is smarter than you.
Yeah.
Like a whole audience they have more of an informed opinion than you do.
Well, and as the band, you're in your own head about
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's why bands
Yeah.
put out albums where they think they're great, and then they go, they're released, and everybody's like, no, this is actually shit.
Right.
You guys are wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
So did you do that one, Adam?
yeah.
Okay. We all gotta take a hit for this one, and that is audible tuning on stage. All right, now I feel as though this shouldn't be that controversial, but I have definitely encountered people that feel as though it's not that big of a deal.
People think it's part of the show. Because there are definitely people who think that's part of like rock and roll.
So what I mean by that, just to clarify, is everyone has to tune. Guitar players, bass players, everyone has to tune in between songs. We all get it. But every instrument also has a volume knob, unless you're playing an acoustic that's mic'd up. That's like it, right?
Yeah, you can choose to have this and not go out to the audience.
So
Yes.
Especially if you're playing somewhere with a sound guy
sure.
who could even cover it for you if
Yeah.
you let them know in advance.
So if you're using like a tuning pedal, obviously that cuts the noise. But let's say you don't have that, you're using like a clip-on tuner. Just turn your volume down while you tune, because no one really wants to hear that. I know that that's like some like romanticized thing in like an orchestra. You hear them all tune when they start.
Well,
At the start.
That's more of a practical thing. You can't like turn that down necessarily.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly.
It might sound worse if it's not louder, honestly.
Lupe, he said, I hit my cymbals if anyone's tuning out loud. It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things that I think is just a bizarre choice. I have played with plenty of people that do it, and I'm like, is there a way we could just not? Like, we just cut the noise for that? Because no one wants to hear you go, I'm in standard and now I'm in drop D. Like
Is it people thinking that they're smart and like showing off like I know how to music? Like
100% of the time, it's always unaware.
Unaware and lazy, I think.
yes.
lazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I hate it.
I
hate it.
tell all my students when they're tuning, like from the get-go, I'm like, turn your volume down.
Yep.
Turn your volume down.
I don't
Turn
want to
your
hear that.
volume
Shut
down.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, give us another one.
Man. Let's see.
Side note: you have two almost.
Yeah,
bingos
you're
here.
almost there.
Yeah. I guess
yeah.
you could be playing strategic, and you could just go for those.
No, I'm not.
Dude,
doing
I
that.
could have actually had bingo if I was here for because I would have had the free space and I would have front person. I would have already.
What is
fucking,
the free space for people who can't see?
The free space is just any drunk person at a show.
Oh, God.
Just any drunk
I mean,
person.
it is a gimme.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty fair free space, right? Like, how are
Yeah.
you not going to run into that at some point at a live show, right?
Let's go with lack of pit etiquette.
Ooh, that's such a good one. And I feel as though we could go a bunch of different directions. And also fucking bingo. I feel like that one is so like there's the metal pit etiquette, which I feel like is so different than other other kind of shows. But let's take it down to like maybe, for lack of a better term, like its lowest example, like house shows, right? So like pit etiquette in a house show is so different because it's a bunch of kids just fucking partying and hitting each other, right? And that can go a bunch of different places of like, hey, we're all having fun. When is the line crossed in that instance? It's probably when it gets too violent, obviously, but also when it affects the band you're trying to watch.
Which is like super easy to happen at a house show.
Yes.
You're right fucking next to him.
I have very vivid memories of like four of us being at the front and like keeping the band from being trampled.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are kind of like that. That's a smaller example, but on the big stage, when you're at a metal show, when you're in those kinds of pits, I think one great example is if you're not in the pit, you're not in the pit on purpose. So why
Yep.
the fuck are we trying to hit people when you're not in the pit?
Yeah.
Go do that over there, not over here where we're standing.
Don't
right?
don't be like a pit sniper.
Yep. Crowd killing, obviously.
Yeah, that's so bad.
But then the other stuff for me is like if someone falls, pick them up.
Yep.
Like there's so many little tiny things for pit etiquette that's like, come on, like what are we doing
That's
here?
a core basic thing that it seems weird that it has to be retaught to
Yep.
like new generations, if you will.
Yep.
Well, growing up in Canada at a time when Alexis on Fire, the band from Canada, were huge. I went to see them once, and they were so popular that a lot of people that weren't going to shows would go to see them, but they weren't big enough to be playing bigger venues. They were playing local venues in like my hometown.
Sure.
And so people who had no idea about pit etiquette would go to those shows and see a mosh pit and think it was just everybody fighting each other. So I was in an Alexis on Fire mosh pit once, just pushing people around, and I saw some girl like see me coming towards her and just hauled back and punched me straight in the forehead.
Oh
Like
my god.
like as I was like getting pushed towards her, she just went
Boom,
wham and punched me
damn.
right in the forehead.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I can't hit a girl.
Well, and so I had a similar thing with like the first time I was in a pit, I was at a Megadeth show, and this guy just runs me down. And then as soon as that happened, he picked me the fuck up. And I learned, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like the inverse of that being someone wails on me. I got the wind taken out of me, and then I got picked back up, and they're like, come on, bro. And it was all like us hitting each other again. It was great. It wasn't like a come on, pussy. It was like let's go, let's
Yeah,
let's
get
have
back in.
camaraderie
Yeah.
type shit.
You can tell when it's malicious and when it's just like the matching the energy.
Exactly. Yes. Very, very true. Okay, Adam, go ahead.
My favorite audience member filming the entire show.
Did you just
That was an intense day.
threw everything on there? That's great.
I fucking hate that one. Like,
Yeah.
I really personally I hate people filming stuff anyway at a show. You're not going to watch it.
Sure.
But I get if you're posting a clip to social media, like I think it's kind of dumb, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get why it's a thing. I'll live with you doing that if it's like 30 seconds or whatever. But
100%.
people film entire songs. People film entire shows. And you're like, are you going to watch this? Is it going to sound good? Both of the answers to both of those is no.
I think the one that kills me is like if you film some of the show. Okay, go ahead. I film some of the show. I do rewatch it.
Yeah, so do I.
I do, but we're the exceptions to that kind of rule. But
I'm thinking of like the same people who like film fireworks at like New Year's. And you're like, nobody's watching that,
Dude.
now,
Like,
Yeah.
the one that kills me the most out of this is when I can see someone filming the entire show on their Snapchat story or Instagram story. I'm like, you are, first of all, that goes away in 24 hours. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Second of all, you're now making all your friends go, tap past this fucking shit because I don't want to see this. The one that also I'll use Origami Angel again because this happened when I saw them last year. There's a guy standing right in front of me, puts his phone up, he's filming the whole thing. I watched part of the set through his phone because he's right in front of me with the phone. I'm like, this is so dumb.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
at like a local show, if you want to film the whole set, that's different. There's a good reason to. It's maybe it's a band you're never going to see again. Maybe they're not going to make it, and you want to record this. Your friends with them, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't be in the middle of the audience doing it.
100%.
I've gone up at when y'all played at Andy's. I went up and filmed from up top.
Yeah.
That's what. Go get out of the way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
don't be filming in front of somebody.
And
else.
actually, you can take notes. Like that's a perfect example. You can take notes by watching photographers at shows.
Yeah.
How do they shoot
They're
the
not
show?
in the audience
Yeah.
with their giant camera and turning the flash on.
Yeah. Actually crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Also, if you're at a concert and you see more than 4 professional cameras, so like pointed at the stage,
Yeah, don't
you don't need
bother.
to take any videos.
No. Yeah.
If you're at a
that's
big
also
show,
true.
if you're at a big show, you don't need to bother at all. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand if you want to because I do it because I'm like I will rewatch this, but like if you like you're not gonna rewatch the whole
Well,
show. 'Cause
You're talking like a clip of something, maybe a whole song.
no, I don't do a whole
Yeah,
song. I know
but,
exactly
like,
what I want to film.
Yeah, a clip of something, maybe a whole song. If it's your favorite song, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe just go stand in the back.
Yeah. Ian said, I was 10 feet away from the stage for the Offspring at a festival, 200,000 people. 4th song in, about 30 of us all fell over, and it took so long to get us picked up, and it was the slowest song. This is such an interesting thing because I can think of a time house show wise where it's a folk band playing and there's like a mosh pit There's like it's
house show. So yeah,
it's just such a weird thing. I don't understand why people get this like vibe of like I'm at a show, so I gotta go fucking crazy. It's like, dog, we're all trying to enjoy music.
It's always people who don't go to shows.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very
I
true.
feel very confident.
they don't go to shows for the right reason.
Yeah.
They go to shows as a social activity. Like my hatred of the Dallas crowd of just. It's Friday. We're gonna go to a show.
Party.
Who is Jack
Yeah.
White?
Right.
Exactly.
Why did they take our phone?
I'm gonna hit us with one that's a favorite of mine, and that is good set, bro.
Oof.
I'm gonna hit us with a good set, bro. Okay. Now this, obviously, there's times where you're gonna say to somebody, "Hey, that was a great set. That was awesome." There's obvious times where you're gonna say that, but you know what I fucking mean when you're doing the soccer player high five because that good game. You don't fucking mean that shit.
It wasn't a good game.
especially because I know your ass was outside the whole time smoking cigarettes.
And hey, that's fine.
Sounds
I'm not.
directed at somebody.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's like, I've watched you come in at the end of our last song. I'm not thinking of anyone in particular, but
Me
like,
showing up late to a moniker show.
yeah, exactly.
Where I think I saw the last song, and if I'd
Good-
been like, "Hey,
good
good
set.
set, guys,"
Good set, bro. If
it was more of a no. I was down the street seeing a different show, and like,
And I'm not mad at anybody who does say the good set, bro, but it's like I can tell. I can tell when you're saying it because you feel like you have to say something. And if that's the case, fucking shut your mouth.
Yeah,
Like,
just don't do it.
just
Don't say
talk.
anything.
don't bother. Yeah.
Because I got caught in the trap of saying good set, bro a lot. And what I ended up doing was making myself go, I'm going to make sure what I say is a specific compliment. I'm not only going to stop being negative about the show, but I'm going to find something positive to mention, at least one thing, because that gets me out of the good set bro mentality, and it also is promoting more of the positivity across the board in a local scene, right?
Yes.
Now, again, there are exceptions, but I mean, in general, it feels like the soccer high five shit, and I fucking hate that
Well, if you
so
have something
much.
specific to say, it's a better. Any compliment is better if you have something specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one for some reason it rubs me the wrong way is because it feels self-deprecating, is when you actually genuinely say like, "Hey, you sound great" to somebody, and then they say, "I'm just trying to get on your level."
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I don't. It doesn't bother me as much as I just want to be like, no, like take the compliment. I really think you sound good.
I had a thing where I was talking to a drummer, and I was like, man, no one can do what you were doing, because he was playing he's a specific style of drummer and he's a specific style of music, and I was like, man, no one can do this like you can. Like, you have an approach that nobody else can. He looks at me and goes, no one can do what you can do. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. And this isn't some like praise off.
I'm not trying to outdo each other.
Take the compliment.
I'm literally telling you the truth. No one's doing no one can do that. You are the one person doing that. What I do, people can fucking do, because that's not the point here. The point is I'm trying to fucking compliment you. And that's not the good set, bro. The good set, bro, is yeah. And Lupe said, good set, bro, followed by, here's my demo. Let's play together.
Dude.
And he had an example for you to think of.
Lupe and I used to play. We played for years in this cover band, and one of the places we would play every so often was a place called Canucks. And we were playing a gig there, and this guy came up to Lupe, and I was like, dude, you guys are great rhythm section. Here's my demo. We should play together. And so the drive home from that gig, we listened to the demo. Not good. It was not good. And I just remember thinking like, oh man, is that guy is like, I want to play with these guys. They're right on my level.
Yeah, that is a bummer. Yeah. For sure. All right, Dave, hit us with one.
Let's do band is too drunk.
Okay, this is pretty obvious. I don't really think there's a caveat here. I think it's just if you're like,
Lupe said he still has the demo.
oh shit,
Can we listen to it on Fun Fridays?
how do you still have
Patreon
it?
episode?
That's crazy. I there might be a caveat somewhere in here that was like, if the whole crowd is too drunk and it's all kind of just like the vibe of the building.
If it's a house show and it's 2 a.m., okay.
Or Lupe said that was our band too.
Dude, back in the day. back in the day.
I mean, that it does happen.
yeah.
I think it's more if you're being like paid to be there.
Yeah.
Then it's a problem.
We were paid to be there.
I'm not doubting that.
Yeah, we were
I'm not
paid to be
doubting
there,
that.
but to be some of these venues would be like friends of the band, that leader of the band that we were in.
Yeah.
And they would just be like bringing us trays of shots.
Right.
and it was not good.
Yeah, I mean, there could be like a caveat, but in general, I think that there's just like, if you're too drunk, why are you on stage?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here? Can we let's just enough's enough,
Well,
right?
especially professional, like big scale bands.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking of like I didn't see it, but Josh Homme's frequently been just hammered on stage and totally useless. And you're like, why are we all cool with paying for this?
And that's
so weird.
that's why the Mastodon thing was such a slam dunk, because everybody has only said that guy was just a fucking drunk mess on stage, and so that's why that's a problem. You don't want to go pay for a show and the band is just way too fucked up. That's just
it's
not
not
fun.
good.
Yeah, that's just not fun at all. That's a brutal one. I can think of times I've been on that stage, like you said, of like the band I'm with is too drunk. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, or just like a member of the band is too drunk.
Sure.
That sucks.
Yeah, big time. Adam, hit us with another one.
This one's a new one, so be kind and patient.
Oh, God. This might have been my idea to put it on the
I'm going to
bingo.
go ahead and mark this one down.
I hate that.
So this one,
Especially prominent, I think, at a local level. And it's often from a band who's like maybe on tour, and you're like, I've never heard of you. It doesn't matter. if it's
Exactly.
new. They're all new.
yeah. So the this one's a new one. So please be patient, be kind. Is basically just everyone's heard this. There's no way you haven't heard this. There's no way you haven't heard a band be like, please, like, hey, we just finished this one the other day. It's a new one. So like, if we messed it up, it's so just be patient with us.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Don't say that.
Not just the messing up part. Like I've seen big bands who, like, on a full tour, like a national tour, promoting their album, and they're like, "This is off our new album. You may not have heard of it yet." And you're like, "What the fuck? Don't you think people who are here to see you have listened?"
Yeah.
I think it's exciting. The one exception to that
Sometimes
sort
it
of
can
thing.
be cool if it's like, "Hey, this is the first time we're playing this live." Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
If
great.
they're
that-
like,
but
"Do you
you're
guys
talking
want to
about
hear
a
a new one?"
Big band doing
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so local bands like, "Hey, do you want to have us like this is the first time we've ever played this song live?" It's like, okay, who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not in a rude way, even just like we wouldn't know.
Yeah. To go back to the drunk thing, what Lupe's talking about is there was this one bar we played in Denton where, first of all,
That makes sense.
a fight broke out while we were playing.
Oh.
But at one point in the night, I remember playing, another bass player friend of mine was there, and he played the left hand of the bass line, and I played the right hand of the bass line
Christ.
to Treasure by Bruno Mars.
Oh my!
And we played the whole
God.
sone.
That's wild. That's insane. I love that.
That's how that gig went.
Okay. This one is kind of going to be similar to something you already mentioned, but band goes over their time.
Ugh.
So this is primarily example on the local level where like a band only has specific amount of time to play, but they decide that, hey, I want to play longer. But now that means that every other band's set is fucked because of that. So you really, if you have a set time, you should probably try to do your best to stick to your set time. It's
Unless you're, I would say there's maybe like a couple cases where it's like you just really killing it and the crowd's really into it, then maybe you play an extra song.
But if you're second on a bill of 4 bands and you're killing it and you want to play an extra song, do we have time for one more?
Yep.
Wait for the sound guy to go. Yep, go ahead.
Totally normal for that to happen.
That's
Yep.
the answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never play an encore if you're not the headliner. Mm-hmm. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't get off the stage and come back on. Don't do it.
I would argue never if you're a local band, just no, you're not going to do the encore thing.
Yeah.
Like
It's not
I
a
don't
real
like it
encore.
when big bands do it either.
Yeah.
But like I understand it's practical.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways of like everybody got to go to the back and go to the bathroom or do a line of coke or whatever they're doing.
Well, they want to step off stage for a second.
and I get that. I get that. Especially if they're playing like a really long show, makes sense.
Yeah, I think
But if the opener for some band did that, everybody in the crowd would be like, "Who the fuck are they?"
Yeah.
It's why at a lot of larger size shows they have a clock on stage, and so you can see exactly what time it is, and you go, "Oh, I'm supposed to stop at this time. I'll stop now."
Yeah. And
That's
if a band,
exactly
if
why.
an audience is yelling for an encore, feel totally free as a person with a microphone to say to the audience, "I'm really sorry. Thank you for wanting more, but we don't have time."
Yep, exactly.
There's
Yep.
nothing wrong with that.
Yep. If you want to hear us again, go buy our fucking record.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Dave, here's another one.
Let's do these are all so good. Band butchers a cover.
Yeah,
I've heard people add extra chords to songs that just aren't there.
Now that's an interesting thing because you could potentially make that like a hey, we're just having fun, we're doing it, we're doing a cover our own way. But there's also the way of like you're just playing the song wrong. How many times have you seen a band go, that's just not the song?
Exactly.
That's just not it.
So often.
Do you know the song?
What
Like,
do you-
did you listen to the song before you played
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
yeah.
That
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Why are you?
Yeah.
How did you get to this point
Like,
where
did you
you're
just
on
look
stage?
up the lyrics in the charts and you went, oh, we can do that?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a super weird one. I feel like that one is pretty specific, but I mean, you know it when you see it.
I heard someone play a full-fledged bass solo during Brown Eyed Girl,
Whoa,
and I was like, no.
that's crazy.
No, this song has a bass section and it's not a solo. It's the root for 4 bars and then it's the bass line.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, like I've seen bands just like take like a ballad and just the drummer's just beating the shit out of it. And it's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and be that guy that says that's butchering that song because why are we playing? Why are you playing a ballad and you're like playing like it's a rock song?
Yeah, usually the trend is to go the other way.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
Like Johnny Cash, you can do that.
Yeah, right. All right, Adam, we're almost there. What's next?
Let's go with throwing something on stage.
Yeah, and that goes to my other story again with the Acacia strain, where you've got a somewhat, the person who threw that penny shouldn't have thrown that penny in the first place. They shouldn't have freaked out the way they did.
Yeah.
But why are we throwing this shit on stage? What is that
Yeah.
doing?
Don't throw things on stage.
What is that doing?
Especially at a bigger show where you are potentially jeopardizing everybody there to see the artist. If the artist is like, if it is like more than a penny, it's an actual like thing that could hurt somebody.
Yeah.
They're gonna leave. Like that should be okay.
Or you're throwing your entire full drink on stage. What are you doing? Like
I've seen somebody throw their phone on stage.
Oh my god.
As they're like, take a photo or whatever, and the guy just chunked it to the side.
Yeah.
I was like, that's great.
I've seen people that are on stage grab people's phones
That's cool.
and then take a video and hand it back.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Just makes me think of the Foo Fighters when they won, I think, their first Grammy. They were like, we want to take this opportunity to just say,
yeah.
stop throwing Mentos at us. Because the music video for Big Me is a Mentos commercial.
Yeah. That is really funny. Okay, so I'm gonna do one that is near and dear to my heart, which is last minute backline. Okay. Now, what this means, again, this is very specific to playing a live show. But what this means is you show up to the show and someone goes, "Oh shit, can we backline your drums tonight?" Fuck off. Why was this not communicated earlier? Why is no one thinking about this until right now? If it was the drummer that didn't have a kit to bring, why didn't they think to themselves, I should mention I don't have a kit?
Yeah.
Like, there's always the exception where something goes horribly wrong and you're like, fuck, okay, yes, fine. Like, I can do that. But like, why did we not talk about this before? Or even still, why am I getting a message about this at like noon on the day of the show? Why is this not talked about prior?
I would love to. I don't think they'll
didn't
ever
know they had a show.
Your turn.
Sorry.
Never
joking.
apologize when he says that.
I know.
I would love to have the guts to have someone ask me last minute to use my bass rig and then go, "Nah, I have a gig after this. I'm so sorry." And then pack the car up and then stand in front of the bass player for that
in the
band
audience.
and just stand there the whole time.
Exactly.
I don't have the
Yes.
guts, but
Yeah. I have had those where like someone was like, "Can we backline?" I'm like, "No, I gotta go."
yeah,
Like,
you actually do have a gig after this.
like what do we,
Even if you don't, though, like
yeah, why do you think you can just use my shit? That's insane. Like, yeah. So anyway,
I assume this has happened. You may not know, but has somebody asked you to backline when they have their shit in their car and they were just being lazy about like going to get it?
We've been on the road and have had people ask local bands
Yeah.
for
Ask
towns
you.
that we're visiting,
Yeah.
ask
Yeah, I
us
do
if they can
remember
use our stuff.
There's sometimes where if it's a last minute thing and it's coming together and it's like, I've done this where I've showed up to a show and a band's like, "Hey, I'm just gonna backline my kit all night." I'm like, "Oh, well, I have my drums." But like, if I'm the asshole now that's like, "No,
Right.
we're gonna use my kit for my set and then put
Yeah.
yours," like
Yeah.
those instances are kind of tough. But there are the instances, yes, I have seen it where someone's gone like, "Oh, is it cool if we just backline and their drums are in there?" I see
You saw them,
I
yeah.
see your drums. What are we doing here, buddy?
Yeah, if I showed up to a gig and somebody was like, "Hey," the headliner, if they were like, "Hey, we're going to use the same bass rig the whole night because it'll just make changeovers easier," I'd be like, "Okay, what do you got?" And tell me what they got. And I'm 90% of the time I'm going to go, "Yeah, let's do that."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like almost always backlighting is the best choice for the show. But if it's not talked about beforehand, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Okay, I think there's like one more on there, right? Is there one more
bad
left?
cover song choice.
Bad cover song choice. I feel like this is pretty universal as well. What's a song that is covered and you're like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Could you think of one? I can think of. I'm just gonna say this, and maybe this is controversial. I'm gonna say most Beatles songs.
Yeah.
Why?
That's a good point.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
You're not the Beatles.
Like what? I mean, like I could get some of them. I could get, especially if it's like a solo situation. You're trying to do like acoustic songs. Like I understand certain situations where you want to do a Beatles song, or I would say also like Led Zeppelin could be a band. Sometimes that's okay, but sometimes it's like why Stairway to Heaven? Why are you doing this?
Well, stuff where it's like a song is too famous or not famous enough.
Yeah.
Because if a song is not famous enough and people are like, oh, that was a really good song. I like that song of theirs. And it's like, that was written in 1965.
Don't cover Alleluia. Don't cover Leonard Cohen's
Yeah,
Alleluia.
you're not,
Okay,
you're
yeah.
not going to do
That's
like
good.
select few people can do that.
That's really good.
And I don't think people should cover that song anymore.
Yeah.
I love that song though. It's a great song. Lupe again in the chat. God, he said talk about this. He doesn't even have to explain further. I know what he's talking about. I was on a gig where, in fact, the gig was a benefit for leukemia, and it was a walk, and we were playing at the start of the walk and at the end of the walk. It was called. I'm not going to name the event because it's local.
Great.
Anyway, the first song we played while people currently who had leukemia at the time were about to walk off, the first song the band played was "How Far Is Heaven."
Oh my
And
God.
we were pleading with the lead singer, like, please don't make us play this song. And he was like, come on, we don't have enough songs to play this whole gig, so we have to play all of our songs.
Did he know what the song meant?
Yeah, no, I don't think
was
so.
Was this a case where he's like, what's leukemia?
Oh.
Like,
No, I think
my.
he knew because it had cancer
Okay.
in the thing,
Okay.
and it just was so unfortunate. I don't think that he
I
put
think
together.
that's more than unfortunate.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was so bad. Now the band is popular enough that I don't know that anyone involved in the event took offense to it, but it was just so distasteful.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that was our Shaux Pas bingo. We all got bingo. I'm certain
Yeah,
of
we
it.
did, we did.
It's good. Now, for anybody who's watching, listening along, if you're listening, there will be a link to it in the show notes. If not, just go to our Instagram. They'll be there though, but there's a link to it there too. For everybody who's watching live, there should be a link in the chat. I can put it there again. But anytime you are playing a show, if you're at a show, please play bingo. Because it kind of does, like, it gives a little, like, you get a little laugh out of the frustrations that are happening around you, because there's probably a lot of them. And if you also can think of any other things that you should be on this, or if you disagree, like I want to hear. I want to know.
If you have a full bingo card, please send us all the stories.
Yeah,
and we'll read them on the episode.
Yeah, did you see that Jackson commented on the Instagram post of the video, and he said, "I'm blacking out but my bingo card the next time I play a show." He's like, "I'm
He's just
doing
gonna
all of
complete it.
these." I'm doing all of these.
That could be fun.
It could be fun. But yeah, I mean, definitely play along at any gig that you're at, whether it be you playing or you're seeing a show. I think it really could. I mean, it's again, you're already on your phone. It's a little fun little thing you can do.
Yeah.
And the link, I think, works well. So yeah,
Yeah,
it works great.
on the phone.
yeah, perfect. So that's Shaux Pas bingo. Excellent. What are we listening to?
Wolfpack's new album.
Is that all three of us?
That's all I'm listening
Fucking
to.
better be.
I got something
Great.
else.
I got something else too.
Adam.
That's fine.
Well, I've been listening to Wolfpack's new album for sure.
Yeah.
So just real quick, also, this new Wolfpack album is incredible. It is there is a lot of like shit posting on the subreddit about it, where people are
Okay.
like pretty unhappy about parts of it being, some of it's a joke as a shit post, and some of it's like there's too much singing on my Wolfpack, and some of it's like I don't like the other people being on this, even though every record they like keep adding more people and highlighting them more as well.
Who are the
What a
other
weird-
people?
Like Joey
criticism.
Dosick. Joey Dosick's been on them before, but like he hasn't been like as high. He's highlighted the fuck on this
Yeah,
record.
yeah,
Joey Dosick, Jacob Jeffries, they are highlighted on this record. Antoine was highlighted on the last one, Antoine Stanley, but people didn't have a problem with that as much.
Right.
But anyway, so people also tend like hardcore Wolfpack fans just don't like the singing as much. They really like the there was a shitpost that was it definitely was a joke, but it was like, can we Wolfpack has lost their touch. They used to be a silly funk band and now they're a silly funk band with vocals. Like it's like yeah, okay, we can make fun of this. This is perfect. But that record's insanely good. Every person, every member shines, and man, I know they're not going to, but I fucking hope they tour so bad.
They haven't been touring a lot lately.
They just do shows.
Yeah,
they just
they
do
do
like, hey,
one-offs.
yeah, we're gonna.
Well,
we're
they
gonna-
do. Yeah, don't they do like the 3 or 4 nights in New York kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is cool.
I've been listening to, my wife showed me this record, Lola Young's "This Wasn't Meant for You Anyway." It's really good, but there's a TikTok song on it. It's called "Messy."
Yeah,
And-
that's where I know the name. Yeah.
Yeah, and but that whole record is so good.
What
my
is it?
What do you mean?
What kind of music?
I guess you could say it's like kind of underground indie.
Okay.
There's rock stuff on it. There's slower stuff. It's a good variety.
Okay, cool. Very nice. I've been listening to Tsunami Sea by Spirit Box. Holy fuck, if it's not one of the best metal records that I've ever heard, ever. It's so fucking good.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Dude, it's varied as all get out. There's like metalcore stuff, there's prog stuff, there's like pop, there's electronic, there's so much shit on this record, and it is, I mean, it's a standout. Every time I listen to it, and for forever, I'm sure I will find new stuff, because people are like they're getting obsessed about the lyrics, they're getting obsessed about they referenced this here, and I'm like, I haven't even like gone this far. I'm just passively listening to it, and I'm super into it.
That's awesome.
So Spirit Box, Wolfpack, woo, amazing. All right, anybody got anything else?
No, thanks for doing Shaux Pas Bingo.
Yes. Hey, please play along. I hope you had fun. If you did play along, if not, go play at the next show that you attend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it so much. If you are listening to this podcast right now and you haven't followed or subscribed on whatever podcast app you're using to listen to this, hey, why not? Do that. It's free. If you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. It's free. Like the video too. And if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, find us there. DFTA Podcast on Instagram. Don't Be the Artist on TikTok. Go follow those pages. If you have any Shaux Pas, if you have any topic ideas, if you want to say hi to us, drop a comment in the video, in the whatever. Send us a DM on the social media, or you can email us at feedback@don'tbetheartist.com. Come hang out with us on Fridays. We listen to new music on Fridays, New Music Fun Fridays. Hang out with us. We'll be live, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere, just like this. And go check out our Patreon. There is a bunch of new stuff there. You probably haven't seen any of it, so go watch all of it. And then finally, it's kind of silly and fun, but there's a Discord now for the podcast. I'm starting to do more stuff in there. If you're a Discord user, you like Discord, come it's in our, I'll put it in the fucking thing. It's in our link tree as well, or not link tree anymore, but it's in that, so you can go find it there. And it's just music Discord. So people will be posting stuff. We already have just top quality memes in there as well.
There might be a way we can do like a Patreon show in there too. Live or
we
something. So.
100%.
I say might. I know we can technically. I'm just not wanting to sign you up
If we
for
want
more,
to.
more stuff.
There is a lot of different ways to do cool stuff on Discord. So for anybody who likes Discord, just join in. We'll be posting cool stuff there, just the more that we get used to using it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We appreciate it so much.
Fuck off! Get rid of town!
Good. Why?
That just cracks me up.
Dog, we've heard this.
I know. It's just
Once
like
a
every
week,
now and
every
again,
week for like 7 years.
I know. Every now and again, it just gets me because it's so funny that it's
Yeah.
you.
Bye.
just keeps getting